morning, everybody. This is Stephanie. I am the new executive director at Gift of Life Transplant House, and I want to welcome you all today to our 41st golf tournament here at Rochester Golf and Country Club. Wish you all the best of luck as you're golfing. Have a wonderful day golfing, and we'll see you guys later on.
What do you enjoy most about volunteering?
Seeing and talking to the folks who are coming through, the organizations that support Gift of Life in this a very special way, and also meeting a couple of recipients, just fantastic, and hearing stories, hearing the connections to transplantation, the stories of people who have had family members at the house, and I mean that's what this mission is all about.
I would definitely say getting to hear everyone's stories and how Gift of Life has impacted their journey so far and how they continue to make a difference in the transplant community.
It's just so much fun to watch all these people out here for a good cause, having fun. It's a beautiful day out here, and it's just fun to watch everybody.
All right, so I see you're volunteering here today at the golf tournament. Do you want to introduce yourself and tell me a bit about what you love about volunteering?
Yeah, my name is Matt Humphrey. This is my first year volunteering at the Gift of Life golf tournament. We started a nonprofit called Isabel's Impact, and that's how I met Nick and the whole family. And I just love being out here because it's a great cause. This is something that the community needs, people need, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
My name is Carlina.
What would you say is your favorite thing about volunteering?
Volunteering, I would say the connections, meeting new people, just kind of interacting with everyone in the community.
Yeah, I think it's the community. You come to Rochester, sometimes you leave your family behind. And so at the Gift of Life Transplant House, it's kind of like you're home away from home. I know my mom was a patient there, and that's kind of what it felt like for her, is her own little second support system.
I would probably just emphasize the community aspect of it all. It's been cool to kind of see how that community has come together to support them all throughout the process.
For anyone who's not familiar with organ transplantation and how many people are affected by that, do you want to share anything about how you learned about it or learned about the process?
So, we had our daughter, Isabel, and she was 3 months old when she got placed on the heart transplant list. She ended up passing away due to complications, and even though, our initial goal was for her to get a new heart, we realized when they talked to us about organ donation that, it was an important step for us, not only because someone out there was waiting for an organ that she could have helped with, but also because it's good for the grieving process to be for you to be an organ donor. It gives your family some solace, and I think that's super important. There's many parts to everything that the Gift of Life does, but it all starts with organ donation, honestly. Without organ donors, none of this is possible.
I'm Chet Conger, and this is my good friend Les Jacobson. We volunteer, 6-7 years? It's fun to come out, interact with the golfers. They're always a good laugh.
Chester and I were college friends. 20 years ago, he was in need of a kidney and about ready to go into dialysis and wasn't having real good luck with a donor. And then he came down to our place one time, and my wife says, well, I'll at least see if I'm a match. And ultimately, she ended up donating a kidney to him 20 years ago, I think it was. So
April 15th, 2005.
That's incredible, yeah.
Tax date.
Yeah. So he's still here, and he actually, when he had the transplant, he stayed at Gift of Life. That's kind of how we got in with these guys here. And we've done some volunteering work before and just help them out. And it's a nice day to be out here golfing with all these guys. So.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Trey Duffin. So this summer I'm interning with Mayo Clinic as an administrative intern. So this was one of the opportunities that came to us. So I applied and now I'm here.
Excellent. And then what's something you enjoy about volunteering?
Of course. So I've been volunteering my whole life. My mom, she works for a cancer nonprofit back home in Louisiana. So I've been out in the community with her volunteering my entire life. And so it's just something that brings me joy.
Hey, so what brings you out here today to the golf tournament?
My name is Troy Hauk. I'm an RN at Mayo Clinic, and I've been at Mayo for about 15 years. I'm a pretty frequent comer to the tournament. I did it for about 7-8 years in a row when I first started at Mayo Clinic, because I started in the liver, kidney, and pancreas transplant unit. And then I moved to heart and lung transplant after that. But I'm in dialysis now.
So you see every day then the effects and the need. What's something about organ donation and the process that people go through that you might not know if you don't have someone in your life who's personally experienced that, if you don't have a family member or a close friend who's gone through the transplant process?
I mean, I think the biggest part of it is psychological. A lot of people, it's very hard on them and their families hoping and waiting for that organ, and then they're so happy when they get it. But then there's always that piece of guilt in them that if it was a deceased donor, somebody did have to pass on for them to have a new life. And it wasn't that they did it, obviously. It was going to happen regardless. So just, be thankful for that organ that you got and treat it well. And the Gift of Life Transplant House is great, being able to offer affordable housing and supplies to people while they're recovering or just waiting for an organ. And of course I heard about them through working on the transplant unit. So yeah, their mission and their vision continues to be rock solid.
Have you met lots of people through this process?
Yeah, I mean, we were in the hospital for just about 3 weeks with Isa. And, those people in those units become your family. A lot of them they're all waiting on heart transplants in the unit that we are in. Some are, they need heart transplants, they need liver transplants, they need kidney transplants, they need everything. And hearing the stories from these other families is so touching. These families, not only do they come here and they're going through the toughest time of their life, but a lot of times these families have to be separated because only one parent can stay and the other one has to stay back and work. That's what's so amazing about the pediatric house that the Gift of Life is opening, is that these families can stay together. And that is a part of this process that a lot of people don't even think about. Not being able to be together as a family as you're going through your toughest times would just be so tough. And I'm so happy just to be a part of the Gift of Life because they're doing incredible work.
Yeah, and it's been a great turnout today. Lots of people out here having fun, raising support. Do you think there's still an increasing need, even though there's a lot of people out here supporting the mission, do you think there's still a need for more people to get involved and to volunteer and to, get into the organ donation process themselves or look into possibly becoming donors?
Yeah, like I said, I don't think there's anything more important, than being an organ donor. Like I said, for all the reasons I mentioned, but, the support that we've had, for these foundations that are set up is incredible, but as more money comes in, we can only help more people.
I worked for LifeSource, the organ, eye, and tissue donation program, for 28 years, and part of my job was working with the transplant centers, and I got to know the folks at Gift of Life Transplant House and the mission, and the then executive director, and saw the group at events, and know patients who have stayed there, who have been cared for there, and it's just always touched my heart. So it's really nice to be here and to see the fruits of all the work that the team does to help patients.
I'm really glad to hear that. What was it about Gift of Life that stood out to you?
Everybody is so passionate and mission-focused and patient-centric. It's all about the patients. It's all about the families who come to the house, making sure that they're comfortable. And it's just so thrilling to see that the pediatric house is going to open in a few weeks. Can't wait for that.
That's going to be really huge. Yeah,
it's going to be huge.
Exciting. Well, thank you so much for all that you do and for being out here and keeping the energy high. I appreciate it.